That's what makes Bitcoin so unique to everything else. I mean, gold would be the closest thing to that. Because with gold, you could take a gold coin and you could put it in your dresser and you could leave it there for 1,000 years and it would not corrode. It would hold its value probably. It would look the exact same. There's no fees that get taken off of that gold coin every year, right? So gold would be the closest comparison to that. With Bitcoin, you purchase a UTXO. Let's say that you're using an exchange like Bitcoin Well. You send Bitcoin Well some fake dollars. Let's say you send them $1,000, and they send you a new UTXO of 1,000,000 sats. You keep that in your wallet. You keep that same UTXO. You don't do anything as long as you protect the keys to that Bitcoin. You open that wallet up in 1,000 years, there's going to be 1,000,000 sats in that wallet. 0 leaks in Bitcoin. And the difference there between gold and Bitcoin in that case, because we said that gold would pretty much be the same thing. If you had a gold coin and for 1,000 years, it would look the same. It wouldn't corrode. You could sell it to somebody probably, much less compared to Bitcoin. But it's the same. The difference there, though, is that that gold coin only belongs to you until somebody more powerful comes along and decides that they want to take that gold coin from you. With Bitcoin, nobody has that ability. If you protect it properly, nobody can take it from you, regardless of how many weapons they have, regardless of how much they threaten you. If you do it properly, there's nobody that can take that, regardless of how powerful they are. That's the difference between gold and Bitcoin in that case. But then you think about something like real estate, which is horrific in this case. The one benefit that real estate does have is you earn an income, but that's very easy to debunk as well. So let's say that you do the same thing with a house now. You take 100 grand, or let's say you have enough to pay for a house. You just buy it straight up. So there's no debt attached to it. There's no liens on that property. Buy that house for 500,000 bucks. Let it sit there for 1,000 years. What do you think it would look like, for one? Do you think the house would still be standing? Plus, every single year, you have to pay a property tax of that house. So what cost you 500,000 is going up and up and up. Every year you pay property taxes. That's another cost that went into that property there. Plus, if somebody with more weapons comes along and decides they want to take your house, sorry, house is gone. So, and just one last thing on that. With the real estate, the one thing you might say is yeah, Joe, of course. But the nice thing about real estate is you can earn a return. You get a monthly income from it. Yes, but you got to deal with a lot of shit. And most people don't factor in their own time into that income statement for real estate. Plus, let's say you have the house for 10 years. You pay off your mortgage. You're making money every month. You have a really good tenant. Okay. Sorry, you need a new roof. So pretty much all the profits you made for the last 10 years, you now got to put into a new roof that doesn't really improve or increase the value of that house, not for what you paid for it. So it's just an endless cycle of you're never getting ahead in real estate. In terms of store of value, that's kind of the three, I would say: gold, Bitcoin, real estate. And it's very clear to me that Bitcoin is the superior choice. And that's why, it's just that the rest of the world has to figure that out. And a lot of capital from gold will flow into Bitcoin. A lot of capital from real estate is already flowing into Bitcoin. And that's never going to change. It's never going to go the opposite way. And when the green light comes on in your mind, then you're in a good spot. Plunger says, I don't need to ask when Bitcoin will rocket, just need to ask why we hodl it. Exactly. Great point. And Plunger said, not an accident. So he did, in fact, send 2 zaps there. Okay, let's get some more questions. Then I'm going to talk about the meat of the show today. You guys are going to like this. Dirty Scan says, when you sell gold, you get dollars in return. Yep. True. Selling gold is a pain. And that's another part too that I didn't even mention there, is that I had silver. Let's say I paid $50 an ounce for silver. I held on to that silver for about 5 years, let's say. And I went to the gold dealer, the gold and silver dealer. And because I must have overpaid or something, or I don't know how this whole thing works, but he said basically, especially for some of the bigger coins that I had, they were like commemorative. So he's like, well, I can't even give you full price for this. I got to give you like 70% of what it's worth because we have to melt this down. So not only did it not go up, it didn't even hold its value. I lost like 30% on my precious metal dealings. Fucking horrible. Horrible. And it cost me like a trip into the city and like 3 hours worth of my time. Absolute pain. You want to sell some Bitcoin? You know, you're going to be able to do it in 5 minutes. These are serious, concerns and serious differences that people will eventually figure out. I've said before, when Ampex starts taking Bitcoin as payments, I knew we won. Who's Apmex? I've never heard of that. Sabian says it literally takes 24 ounces of gold to buy 1 Bitcoin. Exactly. That's exactly. People are figuring this out. And one day it's going to cost you 240 ounces of gold to buy 1 Bitcoin, and then 2,400 ounces of gold to buy 1 Bitcoin. And it's going to continue. We're never going to reverse that trend. That's the green light here. If you understand that, you're going to have a pretty good future.